Hello guys, recording this after stage 6 of the tour has just finished. Alexei Lutsenko took a win from the breakaway. I'm here to talk about the Tour de France and how it's been really a weird edition, not only with the different calendar changes and the different weather that we find in September. This has been really a weird, dramatic race so far, but dramatic and at the same time non-dramatic. Now, everything that I'm talking about here is, of course, subjectively and, nothing but my opinion. Uh, it's been a really, really awkward race. We've had our first breakaway win today in a mountain finish in Montaigual, and I was really surprised that it was only today. There have been two stages so far that have been just perfect for breakaways. Stage 2, stage 4. On stage 2, Emirates worked for no reason really to keep, because they had the lead with Christoph. He got dropped easily, and they lost the lead in the end of that stage. And then on stage 4, we also had the Koenig burn out their old team to chase a breakaway that wasn't threatening to the lead, and consequently they didn't win the stage. And on the next day, Alaphilippe lost the yellow jersey because of an illegal bidon taken the last 20 kilometers, which it's not very dramatic because Alaphilippe isn't a win contender. However, if it was, something could have happened in there that would have been really, really important for the race overall. Today we had Roglic take a bidon in the last 15 kilometers, which in itself, I'm sure that it's going to cause a little bit of stir in the community because I think, the rules aren't very clear when it comes to that, I believe. If they are, leave it down in the comments. I'm open to learning. What happened today, though, that is seeing, well, starting of yesterday, the fact that there was no breakaway is is weird to say the least. Really, really weird because I understand completely that the riders don't want to be just burning themselves in a day in front just for no reason because there really was no chance of taking a win from the breakaway for sure. However, teams like Direct Energie, Vital Concept would have just every reason to put a rider up front and have a whole day, a whole stage of advertisement just for themselves. Some teams are here, the pro continental teams mostly, they're here to get a lot of advertisement, a lot of sponsor display, get that jersey in there in the TV, get a lot of screen time. That didn't happen yesterday, and it was just a really bizarre day. And there were lots of criticism, and there were also defenses of Francisco Ventoso of CCC on Twitter. He said something that is completely right. I mean, you gotta have some easy days so that you have then the exciting days afterwards. He also said a less fortunate comment about. Now I don't remember the exact words, but the real show is in the classics, Paris or Flanders. If you're not settled with that, just see the circus. I get that. I get that. But I can understand easily how plenty of people took it the wrong way. And especially from a team that is disbanding, it's still looking for a sponsor. It's not 100% sure that it's disbanding, but it's a team that's very important for Poland. It's Poland's most, it's the biggest team and the most important without a doubt. However, after yesterday, we had then today, which was a day with a strong breakaway. I wasn't sure if it was going to be a good day for breakaway success or not, but it ended up being so. Mostly though, because in the final climb, Ineos put themselves in front, and they had a plan. They had a plan. Bernal hasn't been looking the sharpest, and Carapaz has also he's lost time in Orsières-Merouette, and they were playing defensive. They put themselves in front. They were setting the pace, and they did exactly as they did in the Tour de France 2017 in Peyragudes when Froome was having a bad day at the time. He was in yellow, but the team was in front with Niva and Landa, if I'm not mistaken, at the time. They put themselves in front, and they imposed fear on the other teams. No one attacked. Froome in the end was having a bad day. Lost time on that final short pitch to Peyragudes airport, not airport, but the finish line in their ultra steep finish. And it reminded me of what happened today. However, Ineos aren't in the powerful position Jumbo Visma is, and you know, again, subjectively speaking, because objectively I also accept that, it's cycling and we can't complain. Like, those riders know what they're doing and they surely know better than me what they are actually doing and with what purpose. Subjectively speaking, of course, it's weird that the biggest race in the world, the Tour de France, ends up being a little bit of the most boring one at times because Ineos put themselves in front and just tons of riders in there that could have made a move if they wanted to. They didn't though. Nottingham and Jumbo put themselves in front to put Bernal under pressure in what was an obvious declaration of Ineos being defensive. No one tried to take advantage of it, and it just becomes a little bit of a trademark in the Tour where everyone rides conservatively. And in this, that is probably the hardest Tour. I mean, on the last few decades, it's for sure one of the hardest Tour routes. And we've had the stage to Nice with 4,000 meters of climbing. We had the summit finish in Orcières-Merlette, and today another summit finish on Montaigual with a very, very hard climb in the Col de la Lozette. And the free stages where we could see attacks, we could see GC moves, we've seen zero so far. Really zero. Adam Yates' attack in the Col de Quatre Chemins near Nice could have been considered as one if he does play out in the GC in the end, but it's everyone has the right to be upset with how the race is going on so far. And I think that everyone is just going to wait and wait as long as they can and try to follow the wheels as much as they can until stage 15, until the Grand Colombière stage. And from there on, the Tour will actually be raced seriously. In that stage, in the Col de la Loze, and stage 18 for into La Roche-sur-Foron, and then obviously in the final time trial in La Planche de Belfi. Those are the days where the race is going to be decided, and there are some really hard stages beforehand. Today was a very good example. We have stage 9 into Laurent, which has the Col de Marie Blanc, if I'm not mistaken. Really, really hard. And the stage 13 into Puy-Marie, which is also really, really hard. I think those two won't be played out as much as we'd expected. And stage 8 into Louis-en-Viel, if I'm not mistaken. That one is also, don't expect, expect something similar to today. Everyone is just going to be saving themselves for the next day and for the next 2 weeks. It's rather boring. It is what it is, though. And then there was also a comment today that I've seen on how on a British channel today, there's been a comment after Lutsenko's win of his relation with Ferrari, and I was really flabbergasted by that because, first of all, innocent until proven guilty. Second of all, there's really, I really don't believe that at this time there's at least many riders in relations with Ferrari, if any. But second of all, it's just, third of all, it's just bad sponsorship. This is the Tour de France. This is the place where cycling gets most of its new fans, most of its new audience, and it's really a bad comment to bring that up because it was really brought up out of nowhere into something negative, that cycling is improving, that cycling is getting better, and it's getting cleaner. I have no doubt about that. It's really a weird comment for me, and it further brings out the drama that this Tour has been. On another side, there's also been the tons of crashes on stage 1 with the riders self-neutralizing the race, and also there's been the obvious COVID situation where at the time we don't know if the race is going to reach Paris. I hope it does. There's a lot of testing and security measures implemented. However, we're having to wait until the rest day to have the virus tested, which, it's good, it's something. However, I would like that there would be another testing now throughout the first week. Today, for example, not have the testing so distant from one another. So yeah, it's really being one of those weird tours. The racing is weird, it's the Tour effect. If it was a Giro d'Italia, if it was a Vuelta, I wouldn't have a zero doubt. Yeah, that's the Tour effect. If this was a Vuelta or a Giro with the exact same profile as today, I would be sure that there would have been attacks, there would have been gaps, the same way in Orcières-Merlette, the same way as in stage 2 for sure. This is the Tour de France, it's the Tour de France effect. The riders just play conservative the whole way. They are, most of them, glad with the top 5 finish. They don't ambition for more at times, which is a little bit upsetting, at least for me. But yes, Tour de France. I'm enjoying the race. I gotta say it though. This rant isn't me saying the opposite. I'm enjoying, and I'm sure that these slow stages can make for a better show in the final week or more. I hope so. Still, I hope you all enjoy the tour. I am, and I'm gonna try to make the most out of it. If you want to support the channel, still leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.